Beth, I just have a question before we open the first hearing. This is a continuation? We've opened it and continued it previously, correct? So there's no reading of the legal notice. All right, so I'll make.
We shouldn't have to do that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I'll make a motion that we reopen the special permit application by Candace Hagerstrom.
Second.
So polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funioli,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Okay, we're good to go.
Dave's name's not written on his screen, so it's hard to remember his name.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't had enough beers tonight. That's all. All right. So, basically, what's happening here is we've already issued a special permit for the dog kennel aspect of the project, and I don't think we really need that. So I'd like to go ahead and incorporate all the rationale for that permit in by reference into this one, if that's okay.
Yeah, I was just going to ask before we do that, and I think we have to read comments and so on, referrals. But Candace, how's it going in the last 7 or 8 months since we met last February, whatever it was?
Good. Yeah, I think it was fun.
Has your business been operating as you hoped it would?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is more of an administrative formality than substantively changing your business at all. So there's no changes to the application that you have that you made 6, 7, 8 months ago. Everything is the same as.
Yeah, I just don't want to be a kennel.
No, I understand. Well, and we had a little Beth and I and with town council we had a little back and forth on this one. We already issued that permit, so we can't take that away from you. So you can give it up if you want. You can write a notice. You can do whatever you want, but you don't. It just kind of hangs there. It doesn't. You just want something that says you're a grooming facility, not a kennel, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
No desire.
Beth said that you haven't recorded that permit, so I don't know.
Yeah, I had tried 3 times. They kept sending it back to me.
Oh, yeah?
The last time the Registry of Deeds wanted to know who the owner of the property was, which I thought was funny because it's the Registry of Deeds. And at that point, I was notified that the grooming would be approved. So I figured instead of registering as a kennel as well, I'll just get right on this and come down tomorrow if the grooming itself is
All right. So
allowed.
the other question I had for you, did anybody inspect the place? As you know, there's some sort of, I don't know if the animal control officer or
I
somebody.
did speak with her. I know she was going to call someone in the town hall. She never came by and didn't issue a license. So I don't think that
Okay.
she
Yeah.
wasn't coming to really inspect a kennel. So I don't know whatever happened with that. I did talk with her.
Okay, cool. All right, as long as we know what the situation is, hopefully Beth can take some notes and stick it in the file clipped onto that permit. And then if anybody asks, we'll at least know what happened and what didn't happen. All right, so as far as I can tell, the structure, the requirements for the kennel part are more intense than the requirements for the dog grooming part. Is that accurate, Candace?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, I run under the same guidelines that it was structured as anyway. So I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So is that anybody willing to make that motion to incorporate the kennel permit by reference as far as the findings of fact and that sort of thing?
I'd have to have something in writing that I could read off of as far as what the date of the permit was, because Beth, do you have that by chance?
Yeah, the special permit that was issued on March 4th for the dog kennel.
So it was
Yeah,
March. That's what I wanted. So it was March 4th?
Yep, it was, well, that was, I'm sorry, the date of the decision was February 23rd, 2022.
February what, 23rd?
Yes.
Okay. And that was for a kennel, correct?
Here we go.
Specifically?
I'm reading it. A dog kennel in a residential district.
Okay. Yeah, I will, and this is only, Bill, you're only looking at it from the findings of fact perspective?
Yeah,
And then we still, okay. I'll make a motion that we incorporate the findings of fact in the special permit that was issued to Candace Harrison on February 23rd, 2022.
Second,
polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Fanioli.
yes.
I can see him now. And I'll vote yes. Bill Cadigan, motion carries. All right. So what else do we have to go through here? The findings of fact have to do with the special permit criteria. I don't think we need to do anything except have a motion to approve the permit.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Don't we need a motion that says the proposed use will not have adverse effects? You know, there's a double motion there.
Yeah, we usually do that after the findings of fact.
Right.
So yeah,
So
once, yeah,
we incorporate the findings of fact, so we would want to do that one before the permit granting motion.
is that a motion, darling?
I move that the proposed use will not have adverse effects which overbalance its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town in view of the particular characteristics of the site based on the findings of fact that were incorporated.
I knew you had your fingers right on that one.
That's good.
I'll second that.
Okay, polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Fanioli,
Yes,
and Bill Cadigan will vote yes as well, so the motion carries. So who's going to make the motion for the permit?
I'll make a motion that we issue a special permit to Candace Harrison of 478 Main Street, Townsend, Mass. For the operation of a dog grooming facility.
I think it's dog grooming establishment in the bylaw.
That's what I said. That's what I thought I meant I said.
We're getting this right.
But thank you, Beth.
Like he said, establishment.
Second.
Did you second it?
Yes, Darlene did.
Huh?
Darlene did, yeah.
Oh, good. Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Fanioli,
yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes as well. So the motion carries.
One last motion. I motion that we authorize Bill Cadigan to sign the decision on the board's behalf.
Second.
Second,
Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Fanioli,
yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes. Okay, good. We're
Question,
good to go.
is there any sunset clause or anything that was to be included or dealt with?
You know,
Well, you're renting this place anyway, right?
No, she owns it.
She
You
owned
own it. Yeah, it probably makes sense to sunset it on the transfer of property if you decide to sell.
What does that mean?
That would mean that the new owner would have to apply, if they wanted to do dog grooming, they have to apply for the permit again.
So you'd like to amend the special permit?
yeah, I'll make a motion that we amend my.
I'm
Motion
sorry.
No, no.
Chairman Cadigan, this is important. You also had conditions on the original permit, on the other permit that you didn't carry over from what I heard. Is that correct? You had 3 conditions on there? You carried the findings of fact, but did you carry the conditions?
What were the conditions?
What are the conditions?
Number 1, there shall be no employees other than the applicant. Number 2, business activities are limited to Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And number 3, no more than 2 dogs shall be on location at any one time, other than the owner's pets.
Is that all right, Candace, is with you? Are there any changes we should make?
I usually don't have more than 2 dogs here anyway. Sometimes if a grooming goes to like 7:30, depends on, it's quiet though. I don't have,
Right.
it's not noisy, so.
You
It's the
sneak up
party.
on them. You've got to be quiet.
Yeah.
I think last time we were concerned because we were trying to fit around, the peg into a square spot on this one.
Yeah.
I don't really have an issue with hours of operation on a kennel. And on a dog room, you're doing 1 or 2 dogs at a time. I don't think it's a big deal, unless any of the irate neighbors that are here
Yeah.
on this meeting that can complain about it. I don't.
Yeah.
And
I don't-
I wouldn't
I'm sure
have
the
a problem.
applicant. Go ahead, Darlene.
I wouldn't have a problem with her if she needed a helper and had 1 employee. I
Right,
think we
yeah.
made that strict because it was under the kennel guidelines and
Yeah.
not dog grooming.
Right.
So I don't know. She might want to, but if she does really well, you might need a helper or something.
Yeah, I think the only condition that I would probably want to do is the sunset provision. And it doesn't affect you, Candace, other than if you're trying to sell your property. It may have a reduced value if someone's trying to get in there to do another grooming business, but they just have to go through the process. And now that we have a new bylaw in place, we should call it the Candace bylaw, by the way.
Okay.
But other than that, I just think the sunset's the only thing that's probably necessary,
Okay.
unless somebody else, what other people think.
No, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
same here.
Dave,
I
was that a
listen-
friendly amendment to your motion?
I think what we have to do is we have to motion to withdraw that and just do it again.
Okay.
All right.
So that's what I did. My motion is to withdraw,
Dave Funioli wants to say something.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, my motion would be for reconsideration of the motion for special permit.
There a second?
Second,
Polling the members, Darlene,
yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes as well, so.
All right, so then my amended motion would be, I make a motion that we issue a special permit to Candace Haggerstrom at 478 Main Street for the operation of a dog grooming establishment with the condition that it terminates upon the transfer of property.
Is there a second?
Second,
Who says you can't teach an old dog? Polling the members, Darlene,
yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes as well. Motion carries. All right, so we have 2 weeks to file this with the town clerk, and you'll get a copy in the mail showing the date of filing. And there's a 20-day appeal period. But you better record this permit.
Oh, yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
I'll
I don't
mention
know
it.
what they want. I'll bring in my 3 rejections. I don't know why they rejected it different reasons every time, but
I would suggest that if you had problems with identification before it's going to happen again,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
bring a tax bill or something that shows who you are and your driver's license.
Okay.
Or you can do it by mail. I haven't had any problems.
You have to mail it in. You can't do it any other way, and then it takes a month.
Well, I can file online in my office if you want to pay me to do it. Just kidding. I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I don't even think you can do it in person. You have to mail it. They're very specific about, that's what
Yeah.
I would do anyway.
Yeah.
You know what else you could do? Reach out to a real estate attorney that does closings. They do online recordings like multiple times a day. Maybe they'll do it for you.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Now, the only thing
That'd be easier.
that I noticed is they didn't used to accept double-sided printing. You had to have all single-sided pages.
That's true.
Yeah, the first time I didn't have the raised seal. I just sent the letter that I got in the mail, so.
Ah,
I had to go down and get the raised seal. And I know one did say who's the owner of the property, and
Yeah.
but I don't know.
So there's no reference in the permit to the map and, the zoning map and parcel? Which they could figure that out, right? The Registry of Deeds?
You would think so.
That's wild.
Yeah,
All
that's actually right on the front page. It says map 11, block 1, lot 0.
Yeah.
Make sure, on the,
Oh,
On the-
maybe if you put the book and page of your
yeah,
actually, because the recording has to refer to the book and page of your land,
yeah.
title. So if you left that out, I can see where they'd say, oh yeah, we can't figure that out.
If you file
We're not
it,
paying-
Candace, either you or Beth can put it in. It's called a marginal reference. Write down your
Okay.
mailing address on the left margin sideways, as well as the book and page, and that might take care of it too.
Okay.
Yeah, because everything's interlinked by this book and page nonsense.
Yep.
And-
Yep.
I mean, they're all virtual books now anyway. I don't know why they keep this up, but I guess maybe it's for us old folks. Who knows? All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
it took so long.
It's okay. It all worked out.
You'll be hearing from me, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. What's next?
Next is 227, I think it is. 227 Mason Road. This is the
Yeah.
commercial kennel.
Commercial kennel, right? Okay.
And just FYI, I already reminded Beth that I was not part of the first hearing. But I've read all the documents and I think I got caught up, and I'll work with Beth to sign the affidavit later.
Thank you. And you guys want to close a public hearing for 478 Main Street?
You don't have to, once you make a motion, it's passed.
If you make a decision, it's done.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
No problem. Okay, Mason Road. All right. So,
So Beth,
It's
just to let you know,
funny.
this is the one that I couldn't download from the docu thing.
it's all messed up because Windows thinks that I need, it says pick an account because I'm on Beth's Office 365 thing.
Okay.
And it says selected user account does not exist in tenant Town of Townsend and cannot access the application.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, I can read anything you need or screen share
No,
anything.
I can read the stuff, but for some reason it wants me to authenticate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it thinks I'm trying to do edits, but
It's
anyway.
my new computer. Everything changed,
And
but
look at- But for the issue that I had, Beth, just for future reference, the reason why I nailed it down to the names of the files were so long
thank you.
that it was saying it was encrypted. So you adjusted the one hearing we just finished. You shortened everything up. That was fine.
Good.
The third one, everything fine. This one, long. So,
Okay. I tried to go through it later this afternoon.
well,
and-
this one had a lot of files in it. I just tried doing it again at 5:15 today, but this is the only one that I couldn't download in its entirety.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I
That's
tried
fine.
to.
So it's a simple fix, though. I thought it was a little bit more worse. I thought it was going to be worse than that. But so everything I'm working on from this one is actually from the DocuSign. I wasn't able to download anything.
Okay.
So now is Brian on the line here?
Yep.
I don't,
He
oh,
is.
there he is. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect connection this time too. I can hear everybody.
So I've
Nice.
been reading all this stuff, and the only sticky part is the Board of Health, right? I would think.
Yeah.
What else can you do quite a bit?
I think most of what the conditions they put forth are, I think, pretty standard as far as after everything was said and done. I mean, some of the stuff I questioned a little bit whether or not that was really in their jurisdiction, so to speak, but most of it is pretty much already taken care of, with the exception of the new Title V.
Well, I think that's the area that, at least that's what I was agreeing to. I thought Bill was talking. It says Title V and says, if the system fails, replace it. If the system passes inspection, then you still have to replace the tank. That's,
No, what they're referring to is they want to add for whatever reason, with the updated codes for Title V, when it's now, I guess, being considered a commercial use, it's supposed to have a 2-compartment tank.
2-compartment tank, yeah.
Yeah, so what they're saying is you can add a secondary tank to the existing tank to essentially make it 2
I would say it's,
compartments.
or tanks in series, so you can.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to, just to get clarification on all that over the past, month or so. So that's my understanding of it, based on talking to them multiple times about it, is they're essentially, sounds like they're assuming it's going to pass, because we just had one, a couple of years ago. So that was their, I guess, the happy medium, with considering the situation.
Yeah, but even if it passes, it says you have to either replace the tank or put another one in tandem or series.
Right.
Yeah, it's still expensive, man.
Not nothing's cheap nowadays.
No. Okay. Yeah, I know.
And the dogs aren't even going to use it.
Right. Yeah. Tell me about it.
I mean, the one area that I was concerned about was the HVAC system. It looks like you paid a buku bunch of money to replace it or supplement or whatever you did, but you have sufficient cooling capacity and heating capacity to put the animals not in jeopardy, as in the past summer, right?
Yes. Yeah. Both. Yeah. We have 2 brand new systems.
Okay. Those are my 2 issues, but I don't know if anybody else had.
They did also say that the dog feces has to be in a covered dumpster. So is that going to be a?
We changed that after talking to all the different departments, including you guys. It seemed like the composting was going to become too much of an issue, or more of a burden, I think, for oversight as far as the Board of Health. They didn't say no. They just weren't sure how they were going to handle taking a manure management plan, because that doesn't really apply for dogs. It's more for livestock like horses. So just to simplify things, I asked them, would it be easier if we just had a dumpster? We thought the composting was the better option, but for sake of simplicity, we said, let's just opt for the dumpster if everybody is okay with that. And it seemed like that was the route to go. So
How does Shaw's feel?
Yeah. How does the dumpster guy feel about it?
great, probably.
Right, yeah, so that was the issues that I had.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to go down the list of notes. I watched the recording several times just to make sure I didn't miss anything from last time. The only other thing, the land use, I think the land use was not really an issue. And the police matter, we also submitted just a form that the charges were dismissed. The whole thing was dismissed.
Yeah, I saw that you actually had the dog attorney, Jeremy Cohen, represent you, or her.
Yes.
Yeah, I've worked with him.
We've worked with him several times for other owners that ran into some issues with some animals before. So he's a good guy.
Yeah, no, I've referred cases to him. I've talked to him in the past. I've had cases against him too. Those times weren't that good, but overall it was better.
All right, so Beth, do we have any updated mandatory referrals or that board-
No, other than the conservation agent's letter, which was actually submitted to the board at a previous meeting.
yeah.
So the Board of Health and the conservation agents,
Oh,
both of
okay.
those. Yeah.
Now, this isn't the one that needs a print, right? All the prints have been up to snuff as far as the boards are concerned.
The
well, the
planning
ZB
department is not, that's a separate thing. But as far as all the departments are concerned, I haven't heard anything requesting any other documentation in the form of plans or drawings.
Okay.
The other thing, Bill, you would ask for and I don't know the conservation wording for it, but like a delineation of the boundaries or something. They said it's
Oh,
not.
yeah, well, that was, Jessica wrote, she said, I don't think we need to do that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to defer to the expertise of the conservation people.
Yeah. But that was one of the other outstanding issues that we.
Yeah. Right. All right. So are we good to go then?
Yeah, we've already read in the multiple letters of reference and both pro and against. I think we took a number of comments. I think we closed the public hearing portion as well, didn't we? I don't remember.
No, Beth's shaking her head no.
No.
We did not? Okay. So I guess the next step would be to ask if there's anybody else has any new comments to make, not just reciting their old stuff, but new comments.
Yeah, sure. If anybody's online that wants to say, have questions or want to say something, feel free. Let me know.
That was fast. Okay.
I don't see any mechanical hands raised or electronic hands, so okay. All right. All right, so we've got to go to the code.
Beth, is this under the same provisions as the previous hearing we had, or is this, because it's commercials, is it different?
This is under the same bylaw, Townsend zoning bylaw. It's the same 145, 26,
26 section
B9.
B9. Okay. Yeah, because it says commercial kennel, and now there's the insertion has been grooming as well and some other stuff. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so for a special permit, we have to find that the proposed use will not have adverse effects which overbalance its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town in view of the particular characteristics of the site. We haven't done this, right?
We have not, no.
Okay, so
This is when we stopped it, Bill. We said it wouldn't be good if we went through this list.
right. So A is adequacy of the site in terms of size for the proposed uses. And I don't see any issues there. Does anybody have anything to say about that?
I do not.
4.4 acres.
Yeah, plenty big enough.
Suitability of the site for the proposed use. It's within the buffer zone for the parts of it are within the buffer zone for the Squanicook tributaries, but I guess when you take away the composting dog feces part and you put it in a dumpster, I think that's probably a lot better for the environment. So the second one is B, suitability of the site for the proposed use. Is that what we were just talking about?
Yeah. I think it's fine. I don't think there's.
C, impact on traffic flow and safety.
Negligible.
Yeah,
Well, I want to talk about that for a minute. I mean, when I was pulling into that driveway, I almost got rear-ended by someone coming up the hill, over the hill behind me fast. So is
Really?
that, yeah, non-drivers in Townsend, you know?
wasn't me.
And no, I was running late and I was going fast. This guy was really going fast.
Did he have New Hampshire plates?
Probably. I didn't look. I was trying to dodge my life out of the way. But does anybody have an issue with that?
Well, there's an issue, but that's even if, well, considering he's not running his business right now and you had that incident recently, it's probably not the greatest stretch of road with a driveway that you got to take a hard turn into, but
Well, at least it's not on a curve, a blind curve or something like that. You've got pretty good sight distance from the driveway.
And
And,
the driveway
The
is really
speed
big,
limit,
right? You can turn around.
well, yeah, there's plenty of
Yeah.
room in there to turn around,
Yeah.
but the speed limit's only at 35 there, I think, or might be 40. Drops to 35 as soon as you get into New Hampshire.
Okay, well, that was just a comment.
Yeah.
But if nobody else feels an issue.
Impact on neighborhood visual characters, including views and vistas.
Negligible.
We don't see any there. Adequacy of method of sewage disposal, source of water and drainage. And that's being addressed by the Board of Health, so I think we're cool there. Adequacy of utilities and other public services.
Yep.
You got electric service there from good old Unitil, so you should be good. Impact on ground and surface water quality and other environmental and natural resource considerations. So,
it sounds negligible also, considering he's going to go the dumpster route instead.
Right.
So,
right. Okay. Does anyone have any conditions they'd like to discuss?
I think the one condition would be the disposal of the dog feces by way of dumpster as opposed to,
tossing it out the back door.
tossing out the, yeah. Even though he wanted to do that, I think the Board of Health is on board with it as long as they use a dumpster, which
Yeah.
to me doesn't sound right, but as long as that's a condition, that's fine.
Okay.
Do we need to make that a firm condition in the decision?
Yeah.
It's not just a temporary measure, that it has to be for the length of the permit?
I would just say that his method of the dog feces disposal is through the use of a dumpster through a
Right.
commercial provider or something like that.
That sounds good.
Um,
So we need a motion to accept the findings of fact with regard to the special permit.
So moved.
Is there a
Okay.
second?
Second,
I didn't hear that. Okay. Polling the members, Darlene,
yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes,
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well, Bill Cadigan. So the motion carries. Is there a motion on the special permit?
I'll move that the proposed use will not have adverse effects which overbalance its beneficial effects on either the neighborhood or the town in view of the particular characteristics of the site.
Is there a second?
Second.
Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
yes.
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well, Bill Cadigan. So that motion carries. So now we need a motion for the special permit.
Okay. I do have a couple of conditions, just jotting them down. One's going to be, and I'm just going to say it, I'll put it in my motion. One's going to be the waste management through disposal of dog feces, use of a commercial dumpster, something like that. I'm
Mhm.
going to put a sunset provision in this one.
Yep.
And the limitation on number of dogs, I know when we all made the site visit, Billy, you and I were told different numbers as far as how many. Brian, what is your optimal operating numbers for a dog kennel?
According to what we discussed with the Board of Health and what they put in their.
They said 25, right? Then they
Yeah,
said,
25 max.
okay, that's what okay. I don't know, well, actually, I don't, if the Board of Health did that, I don't know. Yeah, we should probably still put it. Okay.
Mm.
And Brian, you're the only person on this property, right? You're,
My fiance as well, Christine.
okay, but you're the only name on the application?
Right, correct.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion that we grant to Brian Schulman of 227 Mason Road a special permit for the operation of a commercial kennel pursuant to bylaw section 145-65, yeah, with the following conditions. That the adhere to the waste management program as suggested by the Board of Health with the disposal of the dog feces through the use of a commercial dumpster. That upon transfer of the property, the special permit terminates. And that the owner is limited to a maximum of 25 dogs on site at any one time.
Do we need to add in there complying with the Board of Health's Title V and their regulations, or is that automatic?
I think, well, that's, Bill, don't they have to, I mean, we give them a permit, but they still don't, it doesn't fly until the Board of Health passes, right?
Right.
We still need occupancy.
Our permit doesn't relieve them of the necessity of complying with other boards in town.
And I'll just put the last one, and that the applicant complies with all of the board requirements, all of the town board requirements.
Okay. Is there a second? Did Darlene say second?
No,
Yes.
David,
David did?
We tied. Give it to Darlene.
Okay. Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
yes.
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Okay, the motion carries.
I'll make
Okay.
a motion that we approve Chairman William Cadigan to sign the permit on behalf of the board.
Second.
Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funnioli,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Okay, good. So, Brian, we have 14 days to file this permit with the town clerk. It usually doesn't take that long, but you'll get a copy of it in the mail with the town clerk stamp on it. So that shows you when the 20-day appeal period starts.
Okay,
At the conclusion of that, I don't know whether you have to go back to the building inspector or not, but at the conclusion of that, the town clerk will give you a letter saying that no appeals have been filed, and then you need to record this decision at the Registry of Deeds as well for it to be effective.
sounds good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you all very much.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
All right. What do we got next here?
We have we actually caught up. I thought for sure we'd be here till midnight. We have a 6:15, so we have like a minute to spare.
Wow, a whole minute.
That's a
All right.
sign of a board that has about 120 years experience between the four of us.
That's right. Okay.
Maybe not 120, but it's over 100.
Well, you got 80 years all on your own, Dave.
Oh, yeah. We're on public forum. I can't respond to that properly.
Yeah. That's why I felt safe in saying it.
Yeah.
All right. So Will the clerk read the notice for the next hearing, please?
All right. In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A and the Townsend zoning bylaws, the Townsend Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a remote access virtual public hearing on Wednesday, November 30th, 2022 at 6:15 PM on the application of Michael J. Gray for a special permit under zoning bylaws 145-36 and 145-65. The application is for construction of an addition to a single-family residence for approval of use as an accessory apartment at 75 Pierce Road, map 31, block 28, lot 7, located in the RB2 zoning district. Public remote access only to the meeting is via the following link. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the hearing or in written, that doesn't make sense, prior to the hearing. Copies of this application are available to review at the town hall during business hours by email or request for a digital copy at bfax and at townsendma.gov. William Cadigan, Chairman.
All right, is there a motion to open the hearing?
So be it.
Second? Anybody?
Second,
All right, polling the members, Darlene,
yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funioli,
Yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes as well. I've never seen one of these Title V inspection forms. They go on and on.
It's long. I was like, I thought about printing it for about 30 seconds and I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
But Bill, I mean, I don't know if during these hearings process, we've never really required a Title V because it doesn't even come under our jurisdiction,
No,
right? We can't, I mean, that's just, I don't care, right?
it's not part of our requirements, no.
Yeah.
That's something they just started doing in the past handful of years. They didn't do that before.
So you see this in all your dealings, Darlene?
No, Title V is required upon transfer of the property.
Yeah,
Not
but
the
you don't-
state.
But if you're representing a buyer or seller, do you see this kind of report all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the state required report.
Gotcha.
All right, can,
Oh, them
is-
requiring it for the accessory apartment, that's a Townsend
Okay.
thing, not state.
All right. So Michael Gray is I mean, he's an agent and he works for Gillis. Are you there, Mike? Can you hear?
says he's here. But he's muted. There he goes.
One more again, Mike?
I said, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind, you're kind of tinny. I mean,
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not driving, but somebody's driving right now. I'm in the car, so we're just gonna pull over so you can hear me a little clearer.
uh-huh.
I'm glad to hear you that you're not driving because we probably have problems with that.
So yeah, I do not work for Gillis. I work for myself, and I'm the construction contractor for 75 Pierce Road, the accessory dwelling.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, is there some problem with the plans or has that been resolved, Beth?
He sent the septic system design upgrade design plan
Yeah,
in today to the Board of Health. He also sent a copy to me and I put a copy in your file.
okay. Well, we obviously don't have a report from the Board of Health yet. They just got the-
Unfortunately, you didn't get an updated report from Board of Health. Mr. Gray did try, but he was unable to get that updated.
Okay.
Can you explain to me why they needed an updated plan? Is something wrong with the original one?
Well, it was a new plan that they did a Title V inspection, and there were some notes that had to be made, and that just never got done by the engineer that I had until today, and he dropped off the plans to the Neshoba Board of Health at 4 o'clock today, and I had sent everything that I had to you guys. So yeah, it's very last minute.
All right. Well, I don't know what you want to do. We're going to have to continue this because we can't make a decision without a Board of Health report. At least I'm not willing to make one.
Yeah, no, that's why that's why I was asking.
Can we do the public hearing section of it to see if there's any, just to eliminate one step in the process?
We could go through the mandatory referrals.
I mean, I don't want to waste the board's time. I'm just trying to eliminate a step. I know this is completely
Yeah,
not my,
that's fine. So we got, looks like they all were in by November 22nd. Is that accurate then? Oh, geez. Microsoft is having a hard time. These guys. Referral comments. Okay. Okay, so the planning board says they support, they voted unanimously on November 7th in support of the application for this accessory apartment. Then we've got conservation. What is this? Item number 4 should state yes.
On the application, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise nothing to add. Okay, so Board of Selectmen, no comment. Building Commissioner, see letter attached. Okay. It's not attached here.
It's right below it. Basically, he's referring to the square footage compliance worksheet.
Did he fill that out, or who filled that out?
Did you make that up, Beth? It looks great.
No, that was, I gotta give Eric credit. He did that.
Eric did this?
Yeah, that's
Or
awesome.
Janice.
And then there's another page that has the check boxes for all the different other new things that we've had to deal with. It's awesome.
But who filled out that compliance form? Was that the applicant or was it Eric?
Mike, that was you.
that was me,
with-
based on the plans that were submitted.
Okay. All right. All right.
So
So
do we have, I didn't see any serious construction plans. Do we have access to those tonight?
It's just a preliminary set. The whole set's being constructed, but it pretty much shows the existing house with the addition.
And was that in that 40-page document, Beth?
Application, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
in the application.
All right. So construction plans is not checked and Title V is not checked. And why are these items on the second page of that thing not checked?
which one are you talking about, Bill?
The,
the application.
the thing is, it's got a header that says Zoning Board of Appeals, but it was invented by Eric. And it's a 2-page thing. The first page has the square footage calculation, and then the second page has an item 3 that says conditions applicable to all accessory apartments, construction plans, Title V, 2 means of egress, minimum lot size, parking, and 1 per residence.
Yeah. So basically, you would just check those boxes.
Are we supposed to do that?
Well, I think that would be the applicant, but I mean, you could, I don't know. I mean, it's obvious.
All
Let
right.
me see.
So I'm not sure that this is going to help until we have that Board of Health permit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go through that application and see what the plans look like. Because I went through it quick and I saw the plot plan, and I see an image of a house. That's page 8. Concept drawings. So it's a concept. It's not clear to me who's doing what to who here. I'm sorry.
On page 9, Bill, there's another one.
Yeah,
I don't see where the old begins and the new starts.
right. That's what I mean. They're not really useful.
See the floor plan?
Yeah,
Where was that?
There's nothing on the right-hand side of the drawing. It's just the floor plan. On the left-hand side is the proposed accessory
Left-
door.
so the left side, the left 1/3 of that is the new proposed?
The only thing, the only thing that shows any floor plan is the proposed. There's no floor plans for the,
Gotcha. Yeah, up on top, it says new versus existing with arrows. Mike, is that 1 story or is it 2 floors?
it's just one story.
Okay. What is underneath? Because it shows down on a stairway. What's on?
A basement, an unfinished basement.
Is it a walkout basement or is it like a bulkhead type thing?
No basement, it's a bulkhead.
Is it going to connect to the basement of the existing home, the existing structure?
There's a concrete wall that we're gonna cut a door in for access.
So this is a potential basement that somebody will finish later, and it'll be a bigger apartment.
That's what I was getting at. My quick question, on the existing structure, the basement, is that a finished basement or not?
It's not a finished basement, it's storage.
Okay. Is that also a bulkhead access or is it walkout?
That's a bulkhead.
Okay. Does the proposed addition have its own heating source? Like, is it going to have like a furnace down below, or is it just
Split system.
tied into the existing?
No, separate, completely separate.
Okay.
If you're going to have 2 heating systems, you're going to need 2 flues in the chimney. Is that
Yep.
accurate?
Electric heat pump system.
Oh, you're using a heat pump?
Yep.
How many are you putting in there? Just the one, or you got to put 2?
One ducted heat pump in the attic space up above the first floor.
Okay.
How big is that heat pump, by the way?
Probably be a 3-ton or a 2.5 ton.
I see, okay. All right. Well, it would be, from our point of view, it'd be really useful to see the existing floor plan along with the proposed accessory apartment floor plan so we can confirm the area calculations.
He does have that.
I do have that. That's just based
It's
off of
hard
the-
to see. It's hard to see, but with that new form, it's easy. If you already know the number, you can kind of find it and pull it out. Because there's a lot of numbers on there, but they are there. It's the existing structure. It just shows as a outline, but that's okay. We like to see where the proposed addition is going to be as part of the house. So they are showing that. There is a picture of kind of a picture of the property too above it. I don't know if you saw that, of what it's going to look like.
Mhm.
But those aren't building plans. You want to?
I can't read that that drawing.
Yeah, I had to blow it up to
Yeah.
150% so I could read it. But, I mean, I was able to enlarge it so I could see it.
Okay, well, is there a motion to continue until we get the,
Bill, there's a suggestion, Mr. Chair. If we have people who want to speak in support or against, let them do it, then we can close the public hearing for the next, so we don't have to do it again, and they don't have to attend next meeting.
sounds good. Does anyone in attendance have anything to say?
Well, Rob has taken his, he's put his blocker on. Oh, there he goes again.
Somebody was thinking about it. There you go.
All right, going once, going twice. I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing portion of the meeting.
May I interrupt? You didn't read the other public comment. There were 2 comments submitted.
I didn't even see one.
There were 2, sorry. One came in late. One you don't have to read them, but one was in favor of and one was in opposition to the proposal.
Where are they located? I literally didn't see them in the, oh, wait a minute. No, I apologize. Yeah, 522.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to read them, but you might want to add them for the record. 2 citizen comments.
All right, let's do that.
You want me to read it, Bill?
Sure.
All right, this is from Joseph McDonald. It's dated yesterday. I, Joseph McDonald, am writing this letter to oppose a special permit application submitted by Michael Gray to construct an addition to a single-family residence for use as an accessory apartment at 75 Pierce Road. I am the current owner of 74 Pierce Road, directly across the street from 75 Pierce Road. The reason I oppose the addition is because the area is zoned single-family and it should stay that way. If the zoning of property is allowed to change now, then it can be sold as a multifamily in the future, and its change will encourage more and will ultimately destroy the nature of the neighborhood. Sincerely, Joseph McDonald. So I saw that one. Let me see if I can find the other one. All right, there's the other one there. This one's a little bit easier because it's typed. The Gray/Cooper households have been great neighbors, and the proposed design fits the house and neighborhood well. We support their application to add the extension. Chris and Maria Thurrott, Thurrott of 102 Pierce Road. And that's all, Beth?
Thank you, yes.
No, thank you. I missed that.
Okay, cool.
And so I have a motion to close the public hearing portion of the application.
Second.
And you, okay, so do you want to make that subject to the receipt of plans and report, Board of Health report or anything like that?
Well, no, because I mean, if someone's speaking in favor or against, it's not pursuant to like a Board of Health thing. It's just there,
Okay,
you know.
all right.
That's what I think.
Is there a second? Somebody seconded?
Second.
Darlene, polling the members, Darlene.
Rob's got his
Yes.
hand up again, Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
Rob. Go for it.
Rob?
You're not muted, but there's something wrong with your sound, I think.
All right.
They should have a texting annex.
Oh, no, Amanda's got her hand up too.
Actually, it's not Amanda, it's Janice. It's her mother. I don't know how my daughter's name got on my laptop.
Oh, believe me, that's
I
happened to
just
me more
wanted
than
to
one
make a
time.
comment about Joseph McDonald. I'm the current homeowner, and Joseph McDonald has not lived there the entire time that he has owned the home. He's never there. He comes here occasionally and empties the trash or does a little work around the yard, but he's never been there the
Mr.
entire
Chair,
time that he lived there. And I
that's a-
doubt he knows the additions for me. It's not like
Yes.
they're gonna rent it out.
That's inappropriate comments.
Yeah,
Out loud.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah. We can't really,
Anyways, that's it.
okay. And, all right, so Rob, do you still want to have your comment or? because we're just not getting it.
Looks like he's having technical difficulties on his end.
Can you email it to Beth?
Maybe we shouldn't close the public hearing.
Yeah, I was just saying, I withdraw my motion without prejudice.
Okay,
Great. All
because
right.
if we're receiving other documents, somebody might have a question on them.
Right.
Okay. When
Okay.
are we moving this to?
I think January, the second week of January, the 11th or something.
Do we have an existing hearing at this point besides today? And we have anything else in the future? No. Oh,
We could do Christmas if you want.
I know, we've been meeting so regularly now. It's like, just to let you, last meeting, I had gotten the last COVID booster and my flu shot at the same time.
Ouch.
Not a good move.
Not a good plan.
I was
Yeah.
on the couch.
I waited a week between them.
I was on the couch watching you guys. Really couldn't get up. All right.
Well,
So
I got the standard dose flu shot too, because last year I got a high dose and that literally knocked me for a loop.
yeah. So we're looking for January sometime.
January
11th?
11th is the Wednesday.
January 11th sounds good.
I can do that.
What
All right.
time?
Is that gonna be 5:30?
Sounds good to me. It'll still be dark.
Yeah,
All right, I'll make a motion that we continue the special permit hearing to Michael J. Gray to January 11, 2023.
Oh, yeah.
For a
Good.
second.
Second,
Polling the members, Darlene,
yes.
Dave Chanel,
Yes.
Dave Funnioli,
yes.
Bill Cadigan, I'll vote yes as well. Okay, great. What else do we need? Beth?
That's all on the agenda tonight.
What about the minutes? Want to vote on the minutes?
Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
I just started to review those minutes a little earlier, and there's a lot in there. And I have at least a couple things that I have suggested changes. I'm going to suggest that we put that off as well,
Okay.
and I'll get my suggested changes to Beth.
Yeah, I didn't participate. I did look at it for like form and grammar, stuff like that, but substantively, I didn't comment.
I stopped reviewing them because they were pretty detailed, so I want to spend some time reviewing it.
And one of the things I did was I broke up that one page and a half paragraph into like 4 paragraphs. And I used bullet points. You know, Beth, on the minutes, when we go through findings A through G, whatever, I think it's appropriate to use a bullet format so it's easy to read instead of just one long. And when we have other things we're findings, do a bullet. It makes it easy to follow, which is what I suggested with the.
Okay.
I don't know if you do that kind of stuff or not, but
Yeah.
That's a suggestion.
Got it. Thank you.
That was it though, then, right?
Okay. So table.
Any volunteer forms to review?
Oh, no, unfortunately. So sad.
Now, Beth, is there any reason to really put the Zoom links in these things? Because by the time these minutes come out, they're obsolete. I don't think they're,
Okay.
yeah?
You mean the YouTube link? Is that what you meant?
No, I'd leave if I didn't. All I see in blue is my for those minutes is join via the Zoom link, and then there's a Zoom link and the meeting ID and the passcode, which at this point, I think,
Yeah, that can be removed.
yeah.
If everybody's okay with that.
Bill, you talking about on the legal notice itself?
No, on the minutes here. Meeting
Yeah, if you look at the top, it looks like a header like Bill just said. There's the URL for the Zoom link, then the passcode and the meeting ID, but then at the bottom is the full printout of the Zoom invitation.
Oh,
And that's redundant. It's not necessary.
Okay. Do you still want the top header or? in there?
I would say yes, because
Yeah.
if anybody wants to reference a past meeting, you've got all the information you need with that link and the passcode and such.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the link
Okay.
itself can be taken out. Meeting ID and passcode could leave it in, but it's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's
Thank
past
you.
tense. No one's going to be able to access it anyways.
Well, if it was a database that was accessible, but I think once those meetings are over, then all those numbers are useless. So,
Well, I have in my work, we have a reoccurring meeting every week.
Yeah.
It maintains the same numbers and meeting code and password.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's reoccurring, but a one-time thing, I think you're right. I think it expires.
yes, it does. I mean, and if it comes down to it, if anybody for a legal purpose or whatever, open meeting law request or records request, it's going to come to me and I'd have to plow through my database here at home to recover that video for the meeting, which I've done plenty of times for Beth.
well,
Yes.
I mean, the legal notice has that stuff in it. So, I mean,
Right,
we have evidence that we complied with the open meeting law, but
Yeah.
we don't need it in the minutes.
That's why I said it's redundant.
Okay. Thank. Noted.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, it's been real.
Right. We move to conclude the meeting?
Second,
Did somebody second that?
Yep, Dave did.
Oh, okay. Polling the members, Darlene,
Yes.
Dave Chanel,
yes.
Dave Funnyoli,
Yes.
and Bill Cadigan votes yes as well. All right, thanks.